The bravest man I ever met in my life was back when I was a kid. He was a missionary coming through area towns here and giving talks that he had been a missionary in India for 30 years. And in some of the very poorest and as far away as you could imagine little villages in India, preaching the Word of God, of course. One of the villages he and his wife went to, a number of goats started disappearing, and the men of the village saw tiger tracks, and it terrified them because they knew it was just a matter of time before the tiger would take a man, woman, or a child. It was just a matter of time, and they were terrified. And India at that time did not allow any firearms to be had by the general population. With that in mind, they sent a runner, but they said it'd take a week or more to get to a big city that might have some kind of government that would send, troops or something down to help fight that tiger, or at least drive him off. And they had no other options but to just wait for him. Well, the missionary decided he wasn't going to wait and see somebody get killed by that tiger. It was in the area and it needed to be taken care of. And he was a good old farmer when he was a kid, and he said, when things happen, you take care of it yourself. You don't ask the government. Now, I wish more people did that today. Be that as it may, he came up with the idea, one of the few, if you will, almost weapons they had was fish spears. They were allowed something like that. So he asked the blacksmith of the village to make him a fish spear, but instead of just these, about 4-inch barbs, he had 8-inch barbs. Almost like a pitchfork, but barbed. And he also put a 7-foot shaft on it, rather than the little 5-footer I've got here, so it was an extra 2 foot longer. As he figured it out, he tied a goat near where the tracks had been. He also had his wife about 40 yards back of him in a blind, filming the event, because he didn't think anybody would believe what had happened to him. He wanted the world to know, because he almost figured he'd be killed. He said, a real good chance of it happening. And he put 2 of the village men in with her in that blind with machetes, somehow hoping to defend her if the tiger would come that direction. Be that as it may, the tiger showed up for the baby goat that was bleeding, and he saw him immediately, the man and this missionary, and he started circling the man, and he was probably just checking him out, whatever. And the missionary said he got the spear down and was waiting for him to charge, and then he was going to shove it into him as deep as he could, let it drop, and let the cat have to fight the spear. He thought that would pretty much do it, and then he had a machete too off to the side. But that was his plan. As the cat continued to circle, though, the cat turned one time just enough to look at the baby goat, and as he turned back around, though, he had taken that second, if that, and taken 3, maybe 4 steps, and holding the end of the shaft, he shoved the spear into the tiger's face and into the mouth and upwards of the nose, he said, just as hard and deep as he could. He said the cat fought, and he let it go, and so of course it dangling with the barbs ripping and tearing flesh. The cat was fighting it furiously, and then the cat ran off into the jungle. They didn't find the tiger anymore that day, but men that went out into the jungle for different herbs and things that they needed did find the tiger about 3 days later dead. And so the fish spear did its job on a tiger. And I'd have been a betting man that said it wouldn't have happened, but the film showed that it was a violent encounter, to say the least. But as far as the bravest men I've ever met, personally met, this man has got to be #1, because I can't comprehend going out and taking on a tiger with nothing but a fish spear. This is McCook's Mr. Bill. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if possible, I'd sure like you to rate it. Thank you.